Abusoni come out channel so I'll say GH14 Avenue. Podcast also training because make headlines. And the Jumbrena EDB Exum war unia. Yambo in rap political highway cinema. Yabo a lawyer and the appear could be assuye. On Joy News so na Wontumi a sin pain se ampany ampa sika ye chairman Wontumi ko givri ye Exim bank hono. Omo ade akwadan ye attorney general se omo enhwe na omo entue sika no nanka etuo enkotwene bebia edwene na emom no ogina so eka se sika na omo ko akwakutua no ana omo guso omo ye ho hyehye akwakutua no enye se bia se bia so se benyado chairman Wontumi agene funso atum se odi for o kwan bi so nsem sei ena odi gu ho ede man be shock se mungram.
This afternoon, lawyers for the Ashanti Regional Chairman of the New Patriotic Party, Bernard Enchiboisiako, popularly known as Chairman Wontumi, have confirmed but sought to clarify that their client's decision to initiate plea bargain discussions with the state in the ongoing criminal trial over the alleged 14.3 million Ghana cedi loan fraud involving the Ghana Export-Import Bank should not be interpreted as an admission of guilt. Speaking on Joy News, lead counsel for Chairman Wontumi, Andi Apiakubi, said processes have commenced to engage the Attorney General and the Ghana's plea bargaining framework. Take a listen.
Entered into the agreement, hoping that one of these results would happen. And in any case, I've seen a lot of people talking about whether we are pleaded guilty or not guilty. But under one says we see, and in particular reference to A. Prosecutors have, before the commencement of the plea negotiation, informed the accused person of the right of the accused person to be presumed innocent until proven guilty. We are saying that we are now presumed to be innocent, and that notwithstanding, we still want to negotiate with the Attorney General to come to a conclusion that will be a win-win. And this is all we are doing.
But then I'm wondering, you're seeking a plea bargain at this point in time. Is this a subtle admission, especially by your client, that indeed he was in the wrong?
No, this is not the case.
Okay.
When we are saying that at this moment we are deemed to be innocent, and in any case, the law allows for any time within the negotiation, any time within the prosecution. So at any time that we opt to plea for bargain, there is no presumption of guilt. So we have not entered into any admission of guilt. So we are saying we are taking advantage of the law that allows for negotiation on plea with a purpose going into the negotiation.
We shall a little later get in touch with a private lawyer or private practitioner to give us some understanding of what a plea bargain is. But away from that, public health officials are warning of a heightened risk of cholera, malaria and other communicable diseases as heavy rains and flooding continue across parts of the country. They say poor sanitation and the spread of misinformation could worsen the situation if urgent preventive measures are not taken. The concerns were raised at a public health communication and publicity training program organized by the Ghana Association of Public Health Technical Officers. Annette Adams reports.
Public health experts have raised concerns over the potential outbreak of waterborne and vector-borne diseases as heavy rains continue to affect communities across the country. At a public health communication and publicity training program in Accra, the national president of GAFTO, Joseph Owusu-Asante, warned that contaminated floodwaters could increase the spread of diseases, particularly in areas with poor sanitation.
Anytime there's rains, we talk about cholera. So all diseases that move along with water and contaminants are likely to come.
Mr. Asante said disease surveillance officers remain on high alert, monitoring communities and points of entry to detect and respond quickly to potential outbreaks.
All these diseases are the reason why we have disease control officers. They are more or less watchdogs in all the communities across the country, including the ports.
District Director of Health Services for Kweu East, Angela Champoma, urged the public to maintain good hygiene and avoid exposure to contaminated water and food sources.
The flooding is taking all over our country. Sewage and all other things, rubbish move from other end to the end. And that contaminates our food and water bodies. So when this happens, cholera outbreak and malaria will be on the high.
She also cautioned against the spread of health misinformation, stressing the importance of relying on credible sources for public health information.
The right message should come from we, the health workers.
Health officials say improved sanitation, public awareness, and effective disease surveillance will be critical in preventing outbreaks during the rainy season. Anita Adams' report read to you.
Now, the government of Ghana is repatriating 327 Ghanaian nationals from Côte d'Ivoire following a mass demolition exercise carried by the Ivorian authorities that left several citizens displaced. According to Foreign Affairs Minister Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa, 228 of the affected Ghanaians have safely returned home. Let's get more excerpts from that statement that was issued by the minister earlier. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs wishes to inform the general public that the government of Ghana is repatriating 327 Ghanaians who were affected by the ongoing mass demolition exercise being undertaken by authorities in Abidjan in Côte d'Ivoire. We're pleased to disclose that we have already facilitated the repatriation of 228 Ghanaian nationals. These returnees arrived in Ghana yesterday, Thursday, 11th June 2026. All 327 Ghanaian nationals were previously residing in areas affected by the demolition exercise and became stranded, having lost their sources of livelihood and lacking the means to secure alternative accommodation in Côte d'Ivoire. Arrangements have been concluded by the remaining Ghanaian nationals to return home today, 12th day of June 2026. The government of Ghana has provided buses and trucks to convey our nationals and their belongings free of charge back to Ghana safely. The ministry further wishes to acknowledge that Ivorian authorities have expressed their desire to compensate the victims of their demolition exercise and shall therefore remain actively engaged on the matter to ensure that the promised compensation is received by our affected nationals. To this effect, Ghana's diplomatic mission in Abidjan will continue to carry out the much-needed coordination. The government of Ghana remains committed to the welfare and protection of Ghanaians and will intensify efforts to provide the necessary support to ensure the successful return and reintegration of the affected individuals. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs expresses its appreciation to the authorities of Côte d'Ivoire and all stakeholders for their cooperation in facilitating the government of Ghana's repatriation, and further details will be communicated to the public as appropriate. So that's the statement from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Now, away from that, former Information Minister and Member of Parliament for Ofoase-Ayerbi Kojo Nkrumah is piling pressure on governments to urgently confront what he describes as Ghana's worsening youth unemployment crisis. Speaking on the floor of Parliament, Mr. Nkrumah argued that young Ghanaians are looking for meaningful employment opportunities and economic empowerment, not political rhetoric and slogans. He urged government to move beyond promises and demonstrate tangible results in creating jobs for the thousands of young people entering the labor market each year.
First, we need to anchor every job program on published delivery scorecards with clear metrics on beneficiaries, the cost of these jobs, the time to placement, and the employment retention. Second, we need to separate skills development from job creation, and we need to fund both separately. Training people without creating demand for their skills only manufactures disappointment. Number three, Mr. Speaker, we have to shift the funding model from sovereign financing to private-public partnerships. Government should focus on de-risking, co-investing, and creating regulatory clarity, while private capital drives the large-scale job creation that we need. Number 4, Mr. Speaker, we need to make the apprenticeship economy the spine of the youth employment strategy through national certification, employer co-funding, and clear pathways into employment or self-employment. Finally, Mr. Speaker, I propose that we need to build a credible labor market information system for the Republic of Ghana, which will publish timely district-level data on vacancies, sectoral demand, skills gaps, and graduate absorption to guide policy and budget decisions. In conclusion, Mr. Speaker, we do not need more slogans or promises that results in the pipeline. What we need are more effective ways by which we can solve the worsening youth unemployment problem in our country. The Ghana Statistical Service data is clear. The youth unemployment problem is getting worse, and the time to act is now. I thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity.
Now, commenting on the statements, Member of Parliament for Ikapim North, Samir Uku, accused the Mahama administration of falling short of its campaign promises on employment. According to him, nearly 2 years after resuming office, many young people who were promised jobs and economic opportunities are yet to see any meaningful improvement in their circumstances. Mr. Awuku argued that growing frustrations among the youth reflect what he described as government's failure to translate its pledges into action.
It is clear from the ongoing that our colleagues, they need help as far as solutions are concerned. And then to make matters worse, under the Big Push program, this year, they said they were going to employ about 900,000 young people. We are in June. Mr. Speaker, even the current water, sun, that Concord jobs, even they haven't been able to even employ 10,000 out of it. So what are we talking about here? I believe that the solutions proposed in this statement are real and they are tested in other countries, and these are things that we can support the young people of our country when it comes to it. In conclusion, Mr. Speaker, we need a very serious debate on the issue of unemployment in our country. If you walk on the street of Accra today, Mr. Speaker, the street today in Accra is hot. Mr. Speaker, I don't know what you are hearing in your constituency, but in some of us in our constituencies, you go there, the young people approach you and they ask you, when you go to Parliament, ask Mr. Speaker to ask the President that Ejumano Ewo. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
But Deputy Majority Leader George Rickett Hagan rejected the criticisms, insisting government has already rolled out a number of interventions aimed at stimulating job creation and reducing unemployment. He also accused the minority of attempting to score political points with the unemployment debate, insisting the concerns being raised are more about politics than solutions.
When we came to office, certain things had to be done first before you can do others. One of them was to stabilize the economy that you put in a vegetative state. We have to get the economy back. That has been done. We are growing the economy and the jobs will come at the back of that. This government has been in office for 1 year and just about 5 months or 6 months. Things are being done. The economy that we thought would take 8 years to restore has been done within a year. The jobs that you are shouting about, eventually, the jobs will come, and people who are looking for jobs, especially our youth, will get jobs to do. Please do not make a play of this unemployment situation, which started about 10 years ago. It's been going up and up. With wrong policies, we never achieve anywhere. If your policies in the last 8 years created some better jobs in this country, we will not be talking about what you are talking about today. Let's be serious in this country. Let's get our people to work. And I thank my honorable brother that better late than never. After 8 years, he's found his voice in making what I think is one of the best statements that has been made in this chamber. Mr. Speaker, thank you very much.
Away from Parliament, fresh figures from the Ghana Statistical Service show charcoal has recorded the highest price increase of any item, making it the country's biggest contributor to inflation. While consumers lament the growing burden on their pockets, charcoal sellers insist they are equally under pressure, blaming escalating transport fares, supply shortages, and rising production costs for the relentless price hikes. As families tighten their budgets, many fear the cost of preparing a simple meal could become even more difficult. We'll hear from the charcoal traders shortly, but first, here's government statistician Dr. Alassane Idrisu speaking on PM Express Business Edition last night.
What is actually driving this? And I must say that two things stand out immediately. First, let's look at some specifics. Let's look at tomatoes. So tomato prices actually shot up 35.8% over the year. That is between May 2025 and May 2026, 35.8%. And in fact, in just the month of May, which is between April and May 2026 alone, the prices of tomatoes actually jumped up 38.8%. So that's a real supply shock. And as we all know, earlier this year, Ghanaian traders were attacked in Burkina Faso and an export ban followed. That disrupted tomato supply into our market. And even after the ban, was reversed on 2nd April, the damage was already done and prices, already spiked.
Let's now hear from the traders.
When it rains consistently and when they increase our transportation fee, it makes the charcoal becomes expensive for us to purchase it here. So when they bring it, at first we used to buy the charcoal back from them as 60 cedis. Now they sell it to us as 130. Some will bring it as 135 due to shortage of woods and stuff.
When it's raining time like this, bringing out the charcoal from the bush is very difficult. So sometimes they have to border 2 or 3 cars before the charcoals can come to Accra. So it increases the price of the charcoal. Sometimes too, when the price of the fuel increases, the charcoal also increase, because buying fuel and selling the charcoal at the same price without getting any profits is not easy. So they have to increase the price to get something from it.
Now, tomato prices are also soaring, driven by supply disruptions and strong market.
We ain't some who team because what channel so I'm not so jemre edimine. That's it. Yebesan aso.